You're listening to Soul Blerds After Dark with Letter J. Almani Vani and superhero DJ John Quick.
What's good, everybody, and welcome to another crazy edition of Soul Blerds After Dark. I'm superhero DJ John Quick, and he's
Almani V. What's good, everybody?
No doubt. So listen, y'all, man, we got a lot of things to get into, man. It's been a second since we've been on, man. Happy holidays, everybody. Almani, first of all, how you feeling, my brother?
I'm a lot better today.
Yo, thank God for painkillers. I get it, bro.
Oh, listen, man. I regret putting off that surgery. Wisdom teeth, y'all. I just let's move on. It's too traumatic to even think about.
So yeah, let's move on, man. Well, first of all, man, there's so much good news, especially in the world of comic books and comic book movies, man. Like, it's been a second since we've been on, man. But the one thing I just found out, big shout out to our homegirl Tanya. She just sent me this. It is official. Ana DaCosta, who actually directed the new Candyman movie that's coming out. Make sure y'all go support that. My homegirl Vanessa Williams is in that again, as she was in '92, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, she's going to be directing Captain Marvel 2, which is huge, bro. That's a big deal. She's the dope director, and I know she's going to put that black girl magic all over it, man. What you think about that, bro?
Well, of course, you got to love that. Ana DaCosta, number one, is out there. Her work is absolutely amazing. And what I do like, and see, here's the thing. When you talk about directors of color and black women directors and everything of that nature, is that they bring, I think, a story, the underlying stories and context that has deeper layers and deeper meanings to them. And so her coming on is going to explore the depth of Captain Marvel, but also explore a lot of the universes that exist within that framework and maybe take it to a language that people haven't seen before. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely, bro. And along those lines, bro, like, get this, man, like, our girl, Ava Duvernay, she is like collecting superhero stock right about now. Now, for those who don't know, Ava Duvernay was already tapped to do DC's New Gods movie. If you're not familiar with the New Gods comic book, definitely pick it up. It's an amazing storyline, and I know Anna's going to do it justice.
Yeah.
But what I'm most excited about is that she just picked up the comic book Naomi, which is also a DC Comics property, and she's going to be bringing that as a television series to the CW, man. And for those who don't know, Naomi is, I believe she's a 16-year-old young lady who was adopted, and she never knew who her real parents were. So the whole story kind of centers around that and finding out like who she is really and where she's from. But it's an amazing story, like, and she's like the sisters, with the dreads and the hipster look, whatever. And
quick, that's what I wanted to ask you about Naomi, because I was at Comic-Con, I want to say 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember, did it start out as a DC comic, or did it get picked up?
No,
into DC comic?
It started out. And
okay.
I have one, right? I have the actual, little book right here.
Okay.
Basically, like, I think it was like a 5 or 6 series run in terms of actual comic books. And so, I normally wait because I can't get to the comic book store as much as I used to. So I'm normally wait till they come up with like the hard paperback or the graphic novel type situation.
Right.
And it's an excellent story, man. If you're a father and you have a daughter, definitely get this that book as a Christmas present. It's really dope, man. Big up to Ava Duvernay. I can't wait to see what she does with this, man. Her like that piece she did on Netflix with the Central Park 5, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. So if she brings that type of intensity to it, man, it's going to be something special, man. It's definitely going to be something special, man. And speaking of things like that, we normally do this a little later in the show, but I definitely want to, I just feel like we need to jump into this right now, and that's that whole defund the police thing going on.
Okay.
So basically, Earl, if you weren't paying attention, late last week, Barack Obama stated that although he believes in what the movement stands for and everything, he just felt like the slogan is kind of snappy. And if we're trying to build a coalition, it's kind of counterproductive, which I agreed with. I actually agreed with, because, a lot of moderates, when they hear defund the police, they're thinking, no, you can't. We need our police. That's the average moderate. But and even me, when I first heard it, I was like, I definitely have a problem with the racist police and things that they've been doing. But at the same time, like, I'm not trying to get rid of them altogether. But what it really means, as me and is, reappropriating funds, taking away, instead of buying more weapons, maybe putting that money towards community, resources to keep, kids and everybody, out of trouble and things of that nature. Same, things of that nature. But anyway, all that to say, your friend Sean King didn't take too kindly to it, and kind of, I don't know, and I've been following Sean. I'm a fan of a lot of his work, but he turned me off with the way he attacked President Obama over this. And to me, he made it sound like Obama wasn't behind the movement, and that's not the case. He just didn't agree with the wording, and I just think words matter. What do you think, bro?
So, okay. Let's just say this about Sean King, and I'm gonna say this on camera. Sean King, stop perping like you're a black man. Oh, let me just get that out there. Sean King, stop perping like you're a black man. Okay? If you want to be down what the Q-tips say, to the white folk, but don't crep the roll. Do your thing, but don't crep just stop it. Okay. I need to get that out. Thank you, quick. Listen, I wrote about this earlier this week about the title "Defund the Police." There are two things here. First, let's just answer the question: is it effective? Will it be effective to get its actual goal done in the short term? Absolutely not. No. The fact that people have to go into a dissertation or debate to explain what it means just proves the point that defund the police as a slogan is indeed ineffective in its short term in terms of what it's trying to get done. Now, that being said, this is what is important, though, and it's about the term moving the goalposts. The fact that we're bringing that into our narrative, the fact that we're talking about it and debating it, is really now, though, showing how far down the road in terms of the goalposts we've moved this entire conversation.
Agreed.
And where you have to give respect to the statement "defund the police," okay? Because the fact that we're talking about that means that we are indeed moving to a place where police officers are needing to be held accountable. Remember, it used to be taboo just to ask that. Yeah. And now we're going from that to saying, defund the police. Granted, there's a reaction back, but once again, we talk about the narrative. It's there. So I think it's important in terms of a benchmark to where we ultimately are going. And then we do have to consider this too. While we are shocked by this statement now, let's remember it was only in 2014 saying something like Black Lives Matter was seen crazy. Colin Kaepernick kneeling was seen crazy. H. Rat Brown's statement of "let's burn this MFer down" was seen crazy. Mm-hmm. Now, my last point on this is, here's why you can't just say I get where Obama was saying about the snappy slogan, but we got to be careful, because that's being used, and what Obama was saying, to not meet people in the middle. Here's my problem. if you're comparing defund the police to stand back, stay ready. If you saying, well, I'm voting for Trump because they said defund the police, when Trump has said stand back, stay ready, advocated for the kidnapping and potential assassination of a sitting United States governor.
Yeah, crazy.
Right? 200,000 dead. So I'm sorry, that's just a cover. Them people weren't going to, and then if that's the case, remember they voted for Trump in 2016, right?
Yeah.
No, the slogan was in 2016. When they go low, we go high.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Michelle Obama, but we had nice uplifting slogans, and that fool still won.
Yeah.
So here we got defund the police. Just as it heads up, the dude lost by a record number of votes, and Biden is still getting more votes. So what is this really about? When people, what are we really saying?
Well, so you know what? Let me stop you there now.
Yeah.
I think now. Here's what I think. I definitely think that race played a part in it. I'm not sure. I don't think the whole defund the police did. I think the thing that played the most part in it is the way he just handled. I'm gonna say mishandled COVID. Because I feel because COVID hit home towards so many different people. You know what I'm saying? Like COVID didn't care about what color you are. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
COVID and with the COVID, it was kind of like a snowball effect with the economy. So it didn't matter. Like white folks and black folks are out of work, you know. So I think they had a lot to do with it. But I definitely understand your point. Like if you think about it, bro. Back in the day, the rallying cry was "fuck the police." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, if defund is actually softer than that, I will definitely give it that. But with that being said, I could definitely see both sides of it. But I just feel the way he went after Obama, I felt like it was kind of something personal. It was like it was totally over the top to the point I felt it was weird. I was like, okay.
I will say this, and I just wish it didn't come from Sean King. And I'm always very hesitant to publicly criticize Barack Obama for my own personal reasons. I will say that there is a loosening of the tongue from the teeth of many authentic Black activists. And without publicly critiquing Obama here, there is a public question that is beginning, and that is, he has often admonished Black men and where is the amplification or elevation of Black men?
Well, I say that with one word: brother's keeper. Brothers, that's his program, which was for whatever reason a lot of people seem to forget about. He's done a lot of great work with that organization, bro. A lot of great work.
Me and you, as someone that is actually, me and you will talk off camera. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, that works.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
But you know what? But I see our beautiful guest is backstage.
Yes.
Man. He's one of my most favorite people, man. And listen, I met Keshia. I was DJing at our Centennial, Ilmani, and it kind of came down to, you know, my mantra. Like I always DJ. It doesn't matter whether there's, 20 people in the room or 20,000 in the room. I've done both type of rooms, and I DJ the same because you never know who's listening. And I met her towards the end of a Grey Goose event I was doing for my bro Chauncey Hamlet down in DC. And she came up to me. She was like, "Hey, I love the way you play. Here's my card. Let's get some work in together, whatever." So people come up to you and say that all the time, whatever.
Right.
I looked at her card. I went to her website, and she had done major stuff at all the major events around the United States, man. So, and after that, we just became really cool, man. And she is a sister of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So let me go ahead and get ready to bring on Keshia Walker, and she is the founder and president of the Black Collegiate Gaming Association. What's good, Keshia? We can't hear you.
in the proverbial terms,
Look,
you're on mute.
I've got a two boys, a dog and a cat. So I had you on mute because they like to try and battle for their time in the evenings when I get home. So I was like, let me keep it on mute. And I have a big dog at that, so he always wants to make himself seen. So, but thank you so much for the
It's
opportunity.
all
I'm
good.
so excited to be here.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, Keish, now I know you from the world of, your marketing company, Insights Marketing, which is an amazing company. I've personally DJ'd many events for you. Like I don't know if you know that, Almighty. I'm a diehard Steelers fan. Like, she had me come to Ohio to DJ for her client, Jerome Bettis, Hall of Fame weekend, bro. So I am indebted to her for life.
And the Steelers are doing
like I would,
well right
I would
now.
put somebody in the headlock for her. Like, real talk.
I got nothing
but
to
anyway,
say. Look,
but
the
the one,
Steelers are at the top of the NFL right now, so
yeah.
it's
I mean,
all
I
good.
don't, I don't watch. I do pay attention, but I don't watch because my boy Colin. But I am happy to see that they're doing well. But all that to say, that's not really why you're here. You're here because you have pivoted once again. You are such an innovator, and you founded this Black Collegiate Gaming Association. Tell us about that and how that all came about.
Yeah, so it's actually I grew up gaming with the original Atari and Xbox.
What?
Yeah, so
no way. I couldn't have pictured you as that. That's what's up, though. That's what's up.
Yeah, this is a full circle moment. I grew up a tomboy, and so I loved, playing all the old school games. Then fast forward to to when I created Insights, and it's been 22 years as of October, thank God. And then we started working with athletes, and we would do the Madden and the NBA 2K tournaments for them. During Super Bowl weekends, Pro Bowl, around the All-Star weekend, also during their celebrity and charity weekends and clinics. So we were creating tournaments. We were also getting our athletes on the cover of the Madden games back in the day when the ESPN video game was out.
Yeah.
Clients on the cover of the ESPN video games. And so literally, fast forward to March of this year, our world came to an end. We do a lot of live events. We touch large numbers of individuals, whether it's through sporting events, music events, professional conferences, HBCU and collegiate events. So our world stopped, and I had to try and figure out how to stay true to the multicultural space that we've been in for 22 years. Still stay in the sports arena. And I went home, and my 11-year-old nephew is a gamer. He's been gaming. It's actually his 11th birthday when I went home, and he's been gaming since he was 8. Sorry.
Get that cat bro out of here.
He never fails. He always wants to make an appearance.
That was classic, Keshia. That's a classic Soul Blerds moment.
Look, I was going to tell you, I was going to try and warn you. And when I had to open the door, because when I had the door closed, he literally knocks on the door like he pays part of his mortgage. And so I was like, I don't want him knocking during the interview. So I opened the door, and here he goes, making an appearance in the middle of the interview. And so my sister was concerned about him gaming all the time and here he is again, wanting him to, figure out why and what he was doing so much on gaming and who he was talking to on the computer. So I went and asked him to help her feel more comfortable about what he was doing. And he told his mom, I understand him. I used to game. And so I was sitting and talking to him, and, he literally brought me up to speed with all things that was going on in esports and gaming. And I was down and in Jacksonville when the Madden tournament happened, unfortunate loss of life. Over the game, and there I found out how much money was being given away and why that young man snapped, literally, because a whole bunch of money was at stake. And that was my aha moment, that they're making money now off a game we used to play for fun and bragging rights. And so my nephew started showing me the top 10 professional gamers that he wanted to, emulate and or become when he turns 15, because you can start making money at 15 in that industry.
Yes.
So he was like, these are the guys I'm following. These are the guys I want to be like. And then he started showing me the schools he wanted to attend to play and get a full scholarship, which I didn't even know they were offering full scholarships in esports and gaming. And he's like, I'm gonna be on the esports team. And I'm like, wow, Jackson, are you serious that they're doing it? And he was like, yeah, Auntie Keisha. He's like, I thought you were hip on what was going on. He didn't use
Yeah.
shit. He thinks I'm old. And he also told me he wanted to be old like me and play and be in the working industry. And I said, wow. I said, that says a lot, Jackson. I said, but you've introduced me to your friends. You've showed me the schools. You've showed me the pro gamers. None of them look like you or I. I was like, and that doesn't bother you? And he was like, no, Auntie Keisha, you're the only one that's concerned about a questioned color. He was like, there's no such thing as color in gaming. It's all about just friendship, camaraderie, competition. And I was like, wow. I said, I'm glad you think that way. I said, but the world still looks at things black and white. So you have to still think about that when you look at gaming. I was like, and the bigger thing is, and our entire family went to HBCUs. I was like, you're not interested in, you don't want to attend an HBCU and do esports? And he was like, I've done my research. There are no HBCUs that offer scholarships or that have teams where I can play. And this was May 14th. And I said, well, Jackson, I'm going to go back to Atlanta and see how to change that. Because I want you to have, once you're old enough to go to college, an option of picking an HBCU to go and play and get a full scholarship in esports and gaming. And so, when I actually, Googled before I left him that night, HBCUs and esports, and there were only a couple stories coming up. And so I went back to Atlanta, sat with my team and said, we divided and literally conquered on research and figuring out where HBCUs are in the space. I called about 25 of the HBCUs we work with and or have worked with over the 22 years and started asking them what they were doing in HBCUs and esports. I'm like, I'm just hoping what we're Googling and what actuality is are two different things. Yep. And unfortunately it wasn't. Our schools have a couple gaming systems in terms of rec centers and or, in the dorms or student unions, but we don't have, esports. Well, I shouldn't say we don't. There's probably less than half a dozen schools that have esports teams. There's only 2 campuses that have esports gaming labs. We don't have any. I'm sorry?
Which campuses are those?
Yeah, Alcorn State University and Johnson C. Smith.
Wow.
Yeah, currently have labs. There's only 2 programs that offer degrees in esports and gaming. One of which, and Johnson C. Smith just opened their lab this semester. Then you've got 2 schools that offer degrees, Kentucky State and Johnson C. Smith just started offering a minor this fall and started offering their first classes this fall. You're talking about 97 accredited schools in our system. And so, the bigger thing and the numbers around this is, it's a $200 billion plus industry. It has been pandemic proof. It continues to grow. African Americans, Blacks make up almost 70% of people that game between the ages of 13 and 24.
What?
70, almost 70%. We're like at 68.9%.
Yeah, my son is one. Yep.
Yeah, but we represent less than 1% of professional gamers. And professional gamers are making on average $150K a year.
Damn.
Gaming. You're playing video games. And what we call PWIs, or predominantly white institutions, are offering, a lot of them are offering full scholarships for students to come and play. They're recruiting at
That's
high school
crazy.
level. They're going to high schools, recruiting high school gamers to come and play at their school, just like they recruit for basketball, traditional sports. And the esports industry has just blown up by phenomenal numbers. They have more people watching the final tournaments around Overwatch and Fortnite and some of the video games more than the Super Bowl,
yes,
the NBA All Stars, the NBA Finals, and
that's
the Major
crazy.
League Baseball World Series combined. And you're talking about a global reach, and it's pandemic proof because you're able to still play and compete virtually.
Yep.
You don't have to be in a live setting to compete, play, make money. It also isn't controlled by NCAA, so there's no restriction regulations on being able to make money. So students can play and make money and keep it in their pockets, help pay for their college matriculation. We see and another side of this, and the main reason why I started the organization was that less than 3% of the industry is African American. So we're helping them make all this money, buying gaming systems, video games, playing, competing, but we're not the ones actually working and making the decisions, and so a lot of the games we're playing, that's why you don't see people that look like us in the games, because there's not a lot of us developing the games. There's not a lot of us in executive leadership at the corporations to help, diversify the games, to help diversify the people working at the gaming companies. So we are going to diversify the space and the pipeline and help start changing those numbers. And we want our students at HBCUs first, Black college students overall, regardless of where you attend school, know that there's over 43 job opportunities available that we've identified in esports and gaming. So you don't have to be just a coder or do, game development or software engineering. And you can have a 15, 20-year career, making hundreds of thousands of dollars in annual salaries in esports and gaming. But we've got to get those foundation courses and curriculum at the undergraduate level and start applying for these internships and getting it, and then getting full-time job opportunities and coming back and recruiting other students that look like us to work at these corporations. And so we're excited. And we have 16 schools involved, HBCUs involved, and we're excited about what the next, year to 18 months will look like with helping our universities to become contributors into this industry and space.
Wow. Yo, Marty, I know you want to jump in here, bro.
Yeah, well, this is very important to me. So, Keshia, I'm the dean of students at my high school, but I'm also now I took over and revamped. I'm the advisor for what we call the AMCG Club, Anime, Manga, Comics, and Gaming.
Oh, nice.
And actually, we're up to 150 members in the club,
dope, bro. I'm so proud of you, man. Super dope.
That's awesome.
No, thank you. And actually, Keshia, I want to have you on because we're probably one of the most diverse high schools in the state of New Jersey. And our kids, and even my son, an incredible gamer. But I'm glad. I want to say thank you for doing that with the HBCUs. I'm actually shocked in hearing that they did not have this set up because you're right. The revenue stream is crazy. And my first real introduction to the revenue streaming was off of Twitch. And, I was watching a lot of my friends that are DJs the whole nine going on Twitch. And you would be like, oh, they got 150 views. Oh, they got 200 views. And I'd be like, yo, that's kind of hot, right? I mean, even let's take someone, Jazzy Jeff. At the most I ever saw Jazzy Jeff was at 1.4 thousand views, 1,400 views, right? Peak time for Jazzy Jeff. I woke up one morning because my cousin games, and I went on his stream. He was just getting started. And then I saw this someone he calls himself Chocolate Something. And the dude was talking about Pokemon. Black dude talking about Pokemon. And I looked down, and he got 12,000 views. And I'm sitting there like, he's got 12,000 views. A black dude talking about Pokemon got 12,000 views. And then, of course, you read like the average gamer on Twitch, like a decent one, is bringing in revenues individually of $3,000 to $5,000 a month. And you're sitting there and you're like,
yeah,
wow.
Absolutely. I mean, you do not have to be a celebrity in gaming to be successful.
Right.
And Twitch is the ultimate platform, and is a and they have a worldwide audience.
Yes.
And it started in and around gamers, but it has expanded now where you can go on there and see what some of your favorite DJs, experience parties and events, especially since we've have now had to figure out a way to coexist in this virtual world. So but their main space is gaming, and and I think Twitch is, if I remember correctly, in over 57 countries around the world. So we're in conversation with them to create a partnership with them as well.
Oh my God.
And so a couple of things we're doing too to help again diversify this space and pipeline, because I'm telling you the numbers for blacks, but women of color,
yes,
black women is even fewer, in the industry and space. I mean, it's less than 1% in terms of the black women working.
You know what's ironic? Black women are, wasn't Leonard J tell us black women are like the top gamers in the world in terms of numbers of, of their sector that actually games? Like, and which really surprised me. But then I started thinking about a lot of women that I know. They had their little video games on the down low, but so it's kind of like, okay, I'm surprised, but then I'm not. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many of my
We're not
students
as big
game.
as esports. Everybody looks at esports as the main way to game, and the esports is one segment of an entire gaming industry.
Yeah.
Black women, we're more in the gaming space. We
Yes.
don't play a lot of the esports games, and not to say that we don't play, but we're just not. We don't play it as much as we do. We spend a lot of time on our mobile phone gaming.
Yeah.
And then also, like I said, the non-esports games with gamings on gaming systems, and or computers. So that's a space, but we definitely do represent. And so we've created 2 summits. That one's going to take place in February during Black History Month, called Black College Con, targeting Black college students wherever they attend school who are interested in esports and gaming. We want to show them how esports is a part of gaming and that there's a bigger pie space in the gaming industry. We want to show them individuals that look like us. We want to show them the history that we have in the space. Video games been around 35 plus years.
Yeah.
But people are really starting to talk about it, live in this space a lot more now, but show them the history that we've had as Blacks and as women of color in the industry. And then we want to show them executives, leaders, entrepreneurs who are doing well in this space, and then we're going to spend part of the day doing some career connections, showing them internship and job opportunities available. And then we're going to close out the day with an actual competition in esports and or I should say in gaming. And then give out some scholarships and prizes to those individuals that win. And they're the first of its kind. And here it is in 2020. There's never been a summit or a con to target Black college students, regardless if they went to an HBCU or not, and a summit to target women of color. And so we're excited about making that history. I'm the first Black female to own a collegiate esports and gaming company in 2020. So excited about making that history. But I think this is probably the best time. The unfortunate murder of George Floyd prompted a lot of companies to revisit what they were doing and how they were supporting Blacks, even if it was just temporary for some of these brands. But they at least started making an effort, and they wanted to start doing stuff around tech and helping Blacks to help, because of course we have opportunities to get more technology in our homes, at our college campuses, and the reason why we don't have more esports and gaming labs is they're not cheap to build out,
No, they're not.
And a lot of our campuses may not even have the space to dedicate for just esports and gaming. They've got computer labs, but those labs need to be used for study, study hall and the CIS and or computer system majors, etc. So, helping them to understand the value proposition behind setting in that space aside, but more importantly, trying to find the funds to build out the labs. Because I'm telling these schools, esports and gaming is a direct bridge link way to get students interested in the original STEM and the new STEM that we're trying to communicate and show students. That's a cooler way to get into technology through something they're already doing right now as a hobby or recreation.
That is freaking awesome, man. And you are definitely the person that should be leading this charge. You are so dope with your assist. I'm like, you never cease to surprise me. Like, I mean, and it's always in a good way. It's always in a good way. And
I appreciate that.
Nah, what I would ask you though is that basically, like, I hear you, your points make so much sense to me. But let me ask you this: have you gotten any pushback from any of these institutions? Because to me, this is a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, like I said, the biggest pushback is where are we going to find the money? What you're saying is great, but and especially in a pandemic right now, our HBCU's enrollment is down. They had to refund money in the spring when the semesters were cut short. They don't have their fall sports that they would normally have to bring in revenue to their campuses. There's no housing in a lot of cases, which was revenue to the schools. Meal plans, or books, and there's all kinds of revenue the school would have made. Vendors that would normally be on campus, and so schools numbers, they're struggling right now. And then to be asking for money and a whole bunch of money to build out an esports gaming lab right now is a tough sell. And so we're asking our corporate partners who are coming on board as charter members as well as BCGA with our 16 HBCUs. We're asking them for actual financial support and, more importantly, in-kind support to help bring hardware, software, accessories that the schools are going to need to build out their esports and gaming labs. So these students can have a dedicated place. They go talk, play, practice, and understand the space more. We're also going to be doing some virtual courses so they'll know the economic side of esports and, more importantly, the opportunities that exist in esports and gaming.
Hey, hey Keshia, just out of curiosity, have you explored, going back to Twitch, for example, for a second, have you explored maybe having each institution establish their own official Twitch page and maybe having their students do a tournament? And so then therefore, while everybody can subscribe, we know that people get 50% of the revenue off of Twitch per month, and that's $2.50. But once again, if you can get X number of people watching, then you got that revenue that begins coming in, especially if it's off of an official institution account.
Yeah, that's definitely something we're exploring. We're also talking to Facebook Gaming about what and how Facebook Gaming can help our schools with that. We're telling our schools to look at creating some campus fundraisers around gaming and esports. In the fall, as you go into your homecoming weeks, start tapping into your influential alumni, especially those campuses that are fortunate to have celebrity alumni, and have them host and or celebrity coach some tournaments. But we definitely are. We're also looking at and we're negotiating right now some merchandising apparel deals to start to creating some apparel with the team logos, so they can sell to their alumni and their alumni can represent their teams when they're playing, and or just in general, and giving royalties back to the universities for that. So we're also looking into grant opportunities for the schools to help them find dollars to help pay for and build out. So we're literally going after a full 360-degree approach to help our schools address that most immediate need. But like I said, in the interim, we're not going to wait to have those labs built out. We're going to start educating the minds of the students, educating the career centers around the opportunities available in this space and getting our students ready. Because tech resumes and tech interviews are very different from some of the traditional interviews and resumes that they've written and created. And so we want to make sure they're ready. We're going to do some, help them prepare so they can go on an interview and knock it out knock it literally out the park. And that they're prepared and understand the type of questions and expectations that our corporate partners and and other industry corporations will have when they're coming in and interested in recruiting our students.
So Keshia, for those our listeners out there that want to get in contact with you in terms of trying to support what you're trying to do, can you give us your social media information right now?
Yes, thank you. So our website is bcgausa.org. We have our 501c3 for those individuals that would love to support. You can go on our website, see who our 16 member schools are, and how you could support their efforts to succeed and excel in this space. From a social media standpoint, we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and you can find us at BCGA _USA, and that's BCGA _USA.
All right, awesome. So, sis, it's always a pleasure having you, man. Like this has been great. I mean, I am so impressed. I'm so excited for you. And when you have that summit, I think Soul Blerds need to host a panel. What you think, Elmani?
I agree.
I think we need to come down and host a panel for you. We got you.
We look forward to it. Well, Black College Con is February 27th, the last Saturday in February.
Wow.
It will be virtual. And then Women Got Game will either be March 20th or 21st. We're waiting to finalize the date with some of our corporate partners who have agreed to support Women Got Game. And so that'll be the third weekend, Saturday, Sunday in March. So we'll get you more information once those once our creative materials are finalized, and we would appreciate the support and you all helping to get the word out. And we
No
want to
doubt.
get high school. We want also another aspect of is mentoring. We want to establish, we want to select 50 to 100 high school students to come to each of the summits and see college students, because we want to start exciting them about going to college. And then, and then let them see college students that can be mentors to help them to, prepare for the college process. And then we're also, going forward or upward. And then we're connecting some of our college students with some of the executives that'll be participating in the day to help connect them to say, this is how the path course you need to do to move forward as you graduate and get ready to come into the industry.
So Keshia, how many of my kids can I send to you right now? I'm just saying, you said 100. I already told you I'm already edging towards 200.
I love it.
What are we doing? Let me know.
Yes, I absolutely will. Absolutely will.
But,
And we expand that because, like I said, our immediate focus is college students, but we definitely plan on, and we know the need to prepare our high school students for this because they're doing it right now. Like I said, these students are playing in high school, they're getting scholarships, they're being recruited by PWI. So we want to be able to get to a place, in the short, long term where our HBCUs will also be able to recruit and offer scholarships to bring students to their campuses in this space.
Nice.
Yo, listen, this has been awesome, man. Like,
yes.
I'm telling you, man, like Keshia's, I'm telling you, she is the truth. And I love
Keshia, I gotta bring you on as a guest for my students, though. I
look forward to it.
Oh, they would love that. And one of our co-hosts, she actually owns Coexisting Gaming, which is right now she has a gaming house in Brooklyn, but she's trying to expand. She definitely wanted to connect with you. I'm not sure where she was tonight. I don't think she was feeling well or something. But all I have to say is I'll definitely connect you off camera with her at some point.
Oh yeah, please. Would love to have her as a part of Women Got Game.
Absolutely. All right, Keith, thanks. Thanks to you and your little family for spending time with us.
One last thing, and I forgot to mention it, or two last things. We have another property called Military Play, which is also targeting active veterans and military of color, but they don't have to be, of color. But it's an opportunity too for a lot of students to go to college through the ROTC programs. A lot of our ROTC programs at HBCUs have esports teams. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to have a 3-day weekend, Veterans Day in Vegas, that will focus on, actual job fair around esports and gaming, helping with housing, especially for a lot of vets who are homeless. There'll be some mental health conversations around PTSD and depression that a lot of our active and our veterans are struggling through, and how esports and gaming can be an outlet and a way for them to connect and talk to people and interact through a lot of the men and women through a lot of the situations they're going through as they're serving our country or retiring from serving our country. So, we definitely will get more information to you about that as well. We did a 3-day online tournament this year due to COVID, but we are taking it live, God willing and believing, to Vegas Veterans Day weekend 2021. And then the last thing is a tour we'll be doing called Games We Play. And it'll be a tournament around some of the top HBCU homecomings and classics. And it'll be a combination of gaming. So it'll be card games, board games, and video game tournaments at the camp, at the school, at the classic and homecomings. And we'll be donating proceeds back to the upperclassmen scholarship funds to help keep some of our upperclassmen students in school.
Wow. I have an idea for you, and I'm just going to give it to you because I got love for you. You got to have a DJs Who Games tournament.
Ah, cool.
You know what I'm saying? Because and make sure it's either Madden or NBA 2K. And I'll do okay.
That sounds good. I like that.
Because all these think about it, Keshia, all these DJs, like DJs love you. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be dope.
I agree. And then for 2022, we're going to be working on a global late fall, early 22, a global esports tournament, bringing our Black college students overseas to either Africa. Or London for esports in-person esports tournament.
And you know what? And here's another one. Since Quick is giving ideas, I'll give one more. And I think this one is so low-hanging fruit that will reap you incredible benefits. You need a Divine 9 gaming tournament.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, look, we're giving her super love right now.
Yes.
I'm telling you, like that.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
That like
Now,
if
listen,
you had a
Keisha,
We
this
got
is my
another one
dude.
I can't mention yet, but it's kind of in that direction that I think would be huge, and it definitely never has been done before either. But
well,
we've got to work that out with we've got a partner we're working on with this, so we just got to work through the details.
well, let me know because for Kappa, I mean, I'm very close. Well, I was on the national board, so I just need a word from you, or I can put you in contact with the right people.
Oh, awesome! Yeah,
But
I love that.
yeah, but I think a D9. Hey, quick, can you see that like a March Madness tournament,
Absolutely.
like an Omega versus Kappa bracket?
Yeah. We all know who the winner would be, but it's all good. Anyway,
I know. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you can see.
See, Keisha, like I said, all Kappas ain't bad. It's my guy right here.
I love it. I love it. I got a lot of love for Crimson. Our whole family's Crimson and Cream. I got nothing but love for Crimson and Cream.
It's all love. It's all love all the way around.
Absolutely.
We all stand for the same thing, basically. So
represent for that DST.
No doubt. D9 in the building, Yavi. Let's go.
Yes.
So anyway, Keisha, we want to hold you up, man.
Thank you so much. I've truly enjoyed it, and I appreciate the time tonight. I'm excited, and much love. I had a couple of our New York friends, supporters, ask about tonight. So thank you so much for tuning in and listening, and appreciate the love and support always.
No doubt. We're going to leave this up, so people are going to be watching this over and over. So trust. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut out your part and put it on my IG account.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So, because I think what you're doing is noble, it's a dope cause, it's needed, and I'm jealous that I'm not a high school student right now about to go into college because I would definitely be in this program.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to you more. I know, right?
And you all had mentioned My Brother's Keeper earlier, so we're going to reach out to them to see if we can do something that we're calling From Corners to College program to try and help a lot of our young Black men, especially, and young Black women as well, see again that through esports and gaming, they can start making money. They don't have to worry about going to alternative, non-positive ways to earn income, and they can do that through esports and gaming. And more importantly, they can have a career future through college and or post college with like I said, something they probably took for granted from just playing recreationally. So we're going to work with a couple of local organizations to help create those kind of programs too. That'll take place in the latter part of 2021 and as we enter into 2022. So we'll start having those conversations with organizations like MBK.
Well, actually, I would actually say not to knock MBK, but I would say check out Omega Sci-Fi's Omega Lamplight program.
Yep.
Because they got a lot of youth, and also Kappa League, our youth program in Kappa, is actually the largest youth leadership program for young men of color in the country. Congrats. And then you got Phi Beta Sigma, the Sigma Beta Club.
Yep.
So it's not, I mean, by all means, take a look at MBK. MBK has a lot of regional things, but when you talk about like chapter-wise, matter of fact, I'll send you the link. Kappa League, we just started a gaming tournament that we do on YouTube with a couple of our leaguers. But once again, even with Omega Sci-Fi, they got a number. Quick, how many you guys have? Like 70 chapters of Omega Lamplight?
Yeah, yo, it's crazy. I don't know the exact number. I need to. The little family members acting up back there.
Oh my
Hey, yo, they want the attention, Keisha. That's what it is.
This guy,
But Keisha, look, all I'm saying is I'm gonna need. Now, is that your logo on the shirt right there?
That's it. Well, that's the Insights logo.
Oh, that's the Insight. Okay, I was gonna say that looks familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna be launching. Speaking of Insights,
we have some BCGA merchandising coming out. We have a Black Colleges Matter and a Black Gamers Matter.
Yeah. Collection. I'm gonna need a T on both of those, definitely.
Absolutely.
But what I wanted to speak to you about now, I know because of when the pandemic hit, as a DJ, I know how it hit in terms of like people making money off of events. So I love the way you've pivoted with this gaming thing. And let me ask you this: once we do get back to normal, so to speak, or as normal as we can get, how is this going to work with you doing this and Insights? I mean, This seems like a lot of work, sis.
Oh yeah, definitely been burning the candle from both ends so far. But thank God for the opportunity. And then, like I said, it happened at the right time. Because
Yeah.
like I said, the insight side of the business was slow. So being able to get the developmental foundation stuff in place for BCGA, putting together an amazing team of individuals, all black,
Yeah.
to support what we're doing right now at BCGA, and we'll continue to build on the leadership team around BCGA as the company continues to grow and we bring on more partners and opportunities for BCGA. So it looks like, unfortunately, right now we do a lot of corporate events and activities, and a lot of our corporate clients will not start moving and/or getting back out and doing events and programming until the summer right now, best case next year.
Mhm.
Some of them are even furloughed until fall as
Wow.
Right.
well. So it's going to be a while before we're back up, even at probably 50% of the capacity and where we were prior to to COVID wreaking havoc on the world.
Yeah.
So we have some more time to continue to build on and make BCGA better, and continue to build new alliances and partnerships during this slow period for Insights. But we pivoted too and started working on some project opportunities with Insights to around like virtual streaming and
Yeah.
the PPP space, and we've gotten into we offer the COVID-19 test kits. So we are doing some stuff, and but because we're so new to it, it's taking some time to build
Yeah.
the new services clientele up. But it's slowly coming, and unfortunately, since the pandemic is stretching itself out in terms of when it's going to come to an end, it's given us more time to build relationships and go after contracts in that space.
Well, that's
And
awesome.
actually, and Keisha, actually, if I can ask you this, because my wife is also a business owner, and we talk about that idea of the pivot, and we know that yes, right now is tough, no doubt about it. But let's say even going towards the fall, has this time, and I think you spoke on this, but has this time given you an opportunity to think about how you're going to, I hate to use the word hybrid, but create an extra digital footprint for your business so that when everything is back, quote unquote, I don't want to say back to normal, but when everything is back, you're like, okay, we have this, but we all also have this. Because my concern is either people are going to, and this is nothing I've heard you say, but what I've been hearing from other people that own businesses, it has been, okay, I'm going to get my business back up to normal once we're back, thinking about that business model is going to stay. Or people thinking, well, this virtual space is going to be what it is for the rest of the time. My thing is, I think it's going to be both. And is there an opportunity? Do you see like ways to expound your business coming back into the fall?
I definitely think it will. What will be interesting is how the next 6 months plays out in terms of acceptance and use of the vaccines
Yes.
that are
Yes.
been approved and are being approved.
Right.
Will determine how quickly and where and when our main consumer base, which are brown people, when and how they start coming back out. So I definitely think during the summer we'll be able to test the hybrid space out more. We've already done some hybrid events in Georgia, Atlanta, where we're based, because we've been open since May, and so we tested it out already, and so we've at least had a chance to test it. I think it's going to only become even more of a space that we'll have to exist and live in as we get, like I said, into the late spring and late spring and summertime. By the fall, though, like I said, I'm praying that we'll be able to resume our homecomings, resume
Yes. Yes.
our fall football and fall sports, and a lot of the events and activities that we had to shelve, this current year. So, but to answer your question, yes, it's definitely. I think it's in some ways we'll always have virtual spaces moving forward, because corporations and even individuals have figured out that I can see just as much, virtually as I was doing, when I was out and about and, and in the quote unquote world. So I definitely think it will. And it's like you said, it forced a lot of, I mean, you talk about churches, everybody now has
Yeah.
seen the power of technology, and that the reach can either at a minimum stay where it was, and if not exceed where you were before with some of the things you would have done, with your live events, activities, and programming.
Mhm.
Yeah, very good. True. All right, Keith, we really gonna let you go this time.
Yeah.
The conversation's good when we keep saying, all right, we're gonna go, then something else will come up. But we appreciate you, man. It's been nice kicking it with you. Good seeing your face, first of all. And
Thank you. Delta Convention in Atlanta in June, July, August. So hope to see you all in Atlanta, because
no
the
doubt.
Deltas plan on turning Atlanta red in
Oh,
person.
hey, all I know is I need to get a couple sets in if I come down. That's all I'm saying, sis. You know how we do.
Absolutely. I look
Anyway,
forward to it.
Keith, it's been a pleasure. You take care. We'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, thank you so much. You all have
Take
a great
care.
night.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay.
I know.
Bro, hold on. Let's get right with this camera angle.
Yeah.
Bro, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Like, she brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, she,
Yeah.
I mean, like, Keshia, when you think of, people saying things like black girl magic, like, she's one of those women that you think of. Like, she has pivoted and just took something that was desperately needed, and I know she's going to make it fly, man. So I'm definitely excited, to see where she goes with that, man. But we got a couple more things we got to talk about before we get out of here in a few.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention is how proud I was to see Naomi Osaka named Sportsperson of the Year by Sports Illustrated. And I thought it was a beautiful thing. I know her boyfriend, I forgot his name. He's a young rapper. I can't think of his name right now. But he was, people don't realize he was actually the one who came up with the idea and encouraged her and supported her when she came to the U.S. Open with, the whole face mask, victims of police violence and whatever. So kudos to her, man. I mean, I know you're a fan too, bro. I know you got some things to say about it.
No, I listen, I really just the strength of her, because you know what? And what I really appreciate is that because tennis is an individual sport, it's very easy for someone like her to get banished or isolated, or treated in a very different way for doing that. So absolutely, it took courage. I think she earned that. I do think, though, it's important to also give props to Venus and Serena Williams, because I think they really, when you talk about on the activism level, Black women taking the strength to really speak out. They were speaking out years ago, and I think that made the path for someone like Naomi Osaka. This, by the way, this is not about taking anything away. She earned that. She elevated. She amplified. But I also think it's important to give that acknowledgement to especially Serena for helping to set the stage and pave the way for Naomi. I see you. I see you.
Yeah, man.
But she's great.
Yeah. Naomi is just a dope individual, and again, I'm just happy to see her get her love, man. Breakdancing in the Olympics, bro. What you think about this, man? Like, I think it's gonna be ill because, like, I've seen like some of the people, especially of our age group. Some people forget that breakdancing is still going on. It's been a sport around the globe. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in the Asian community, they've really embraced it like crazy. They've taken it to other levels. So to see this as an Olympic sport, here's the thing though, bro. Who would you bet on? Would you bet on the Asians or would you bet on the Americans? Because right now, I don't know, bro. It'll be close.
Well, I that's a tough one, because you have to shatter the basic perception of how we see breakdancing, right? As just a level of dancing with music.
Yeah.
When you think about where breakdancing is, though a dance, I mean, just in terms of, it makes sense in terms of the Asian community, especially when you talk about just physical nature, martial arts, so forth, so on. And I'm not saying that stereotypically. I'm talking about that culturally.
Yes.
I'm talking about that culturally, about how martial arts is seen and the physical pushing of the body. You know, I'm not sure. And I tell you another group you gotta think of, Brazilians and capoeira.
Brazilian. I was about to say that too, man. You're right, bro. All I'm saying, I'm excited about it. Like,
Yes.
you know, I saw a couple of people like breakdancing, like in the Olympics. Yo, it is a truly amazing athletic endeavor if you're a great breakdancer. Like, it's just, to me, it's the same as almost as gymnastics, except I feel like it's almost more physical.
It is. But think about it. But we see it in gymnastics because when they do the floor dances.
Yes.
And even with the pommel horse is just a standing windmill on a structure.
Exactly. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see it, man.
Yeah, I agree.
And lastly, but not least, like I know a lot of you guys. I know I was a fan of the Daredevil series on Netflix. I thought they had great fighting sequences, great storylines. Like out of the 4 Marvel Netflix shows, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, actually 5, and of course the Defenders, I felt like Daredevil was probably the best written and best choreographed in terms of the fighting scenes. But I'm saying all I have to say is that Charlie Cox, who played Daredevil in the series, is going to be reprising his role in the next Spider-Man movie. So that I'm really excited about that, because I look at it like this. Okay, we're bringing back Daredevil. So does that mean that Luke Cage eventually is going to join the MCU? Like, I think that would be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too, man. That would be. Speaking of which, man, we gotta get your boy on that show. We gotta get your boy on the show. We've been talking about that for a second.
I was just talking to him today. He's actually working on a couple of projects. So I think he said, I think his schedule looks better after the new year begins, because I'm trying to get him. He's like, man, I'm so busy. I'm like, I feel you.
Perfect. So anything you want to wax poetically on, bro? Or are we good, man? I know it's already good. We good. It was a great show. I had a good time, y'all. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow us. You know, tell your friends. Soul Blerds After Dark, the Facebook page. We're going to have our own Twitch page. Like normally when I do Soul Blerds, I do it off my Twitch page. No, I'm going to make an extra Twitch page just for Soul Blerds, so we can begin to build our community, our coalition on Twitch, because I think that's very important. Elmani's been getting on me about it like forever. So I'm definitely going to take some time when I go home, to West Virginia to visit my folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to, make that happen. And also don't forget to follow us, of course, on IG at Soul Blerds. All right.
Yes.
So in the meantime, we will see y'all next week or week after next. We're going to do this every other week because, we're grown folks. We busy. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see y'all next time on Soul Blerds After Dark. Peace. Let's
You're listening to Soul Blerds After Dark with Letter J. Elmani Vani and superhero DJ John Quick.